Now and then, we have a lot of work to do. We have to secure legislative approvals, do some really robust research and monitoring, a really quantitative risk assessment process, look at the benefits and compare them to the costs. We need to develop a really robust clean-up and release strategy, of course. We need to educate and consult. That's going to be this is a national issue. It's in every state and territory, with the exception of the Northern Territory. So there's a lot of work involved. If we do get the approval to go forward, there's a range of activities that happen after that, but I just want to make the point, this is where we are right now. We're in the planning phase. We're in doing robust research. We're in the game of really having conversations with as many people around Australia to understand their views on this. And the $15 million provided to us by the Australian government is really to enable us to do that part very effectively. So just to be clear, this is not about releasing the virus or doing the cleanup. Those funds are solely for planning. So where are we at? Well, we've developed a really robust research program, a very innovative research program with around $5 million of research addressing 8 priority areas. And in the next 18 months, we'll be deploying that research program to make sure we make a really smart decision at the end of next year. Timelines are short. The research is really, we've brought in some of Australia's best and brightest researchers to make sure that we can really understand this opportunity that sits before us. I'm not going to go into detail about the whole research program, but I really love the opportunity to do so in more depth at a later date with each individually. What I do want to focus on is maybe the question that is maybe on all of your lips. I know through discussions over breakfast with Rebekha, Sharkie, it's clearly a very keen interest in South Australia. It should be for all of us, which is this: if this species makes up 80% of the total weight of fish in a lot of our rivers, and this virus will kill upwards of 70% of those fish, how can we possibly do this cleanup effectively? And that is really central to our research program. I just want to touch on 5 key points. The first is we are going to do the most precise estimate of the total biomass, the total weight of carp in Australia, so to help us understand how big is this challenge. We're then going to answer the question through some research already underway in Adelaide and Eastern Australia. How much of this biomass do we need to remove from waterways to maintain water quality? Because you don't need to collect that last fish, but you do need to have targets, you need to hit those targets. And that needs to be evidence-based. We're doing that research right now. We're looking around the world at best practice for cleaning up fish kills. There have been some enormous fish kills around the world, and there have been a whole range of methods that have been trialled, and we want to pick the eyes out of the methods that are effective in an Australian context as we go forward. We're doing some really sophisticated computer modelling. It's really hard to work out something other than a person sitting behind a computer to demonstrate that point, but really sophisticated computer modelling that integrates flow and environmental variables, temperature, dissolved oxygen, carp numbers, of course, so we can answer the question, how do we release this virus to get the best outcome? And I'm not going to touch on the international case studies right now, but suffice to say, we have some really, really insightful case studies worldwide, not just of carp or even of fish, but of pest control, that we are learning from to develop this strategy for the release and cleanup so that we know that it can be safe and effective. I just want to finish on this one last point. If we are going to do this, this is going to be a world's first. No one has ever done biocontrol of fish before. That's not because it doesn't work, that's because it just hasn't been done. This is the perfect candidate. This virus is species specific, it is effective on carp, and we have no species closely related to carp. That gives us the ingredients we need to do this successfully. But if we do this, what are our rivers, what are our fisheries going to look like? Well, this is an example in Western New South Wales called Taru wetland. This place had a real carp problem. As you can see, the water looks like Milo. They waited until an opportunity when that wetland was going to drain. They put a screen on the inlet of that wetland so the carp couldn't get back in, and then they filled it again. And it looked like this. I don't know if you can see that. That water's clear. You can see the snags on the bottom. And without carp in that system, the food was abundant. And so they actually stocked this wetland with golden perch, and their growth rate was astronomical because carp weren't soaking up all of the nutrients that the native fish would normally enjoy. And the growth rates were so significant, they started to actually take out the screen that stopped the carp getting back in to let the golden perch back into the river, using this wetland as a fish factory effectively. Now, in some places throughout the Murray-Darling Basin and everywhere where carp occur, we might see results like this. This translates directly into more beautiful rivers, better tourism, and better quality recreational fishing. That is worth fighting for. And so it's great that we've had a visionary investment from the Australian government to enable us to explore this in a really robust way, to have a discussion in Australia on a scale we've never seen before about the health of our rivers and the quality of our fishing, whether we're happy with what it looks like right now, and whether we're willing to double down and do something really innovative to improve it in the future. Now I need to just finish with this one point. We could not be in this situation without the support we've had from the Australian government. We would not be in this situation without the support from the Australian Recreational Fishing Foundation. Recreational fishers get this. There's a lot in it for us because back in the 1920s, you could catch 20 kilos of native fish in an average hour of fishing. These days you couldn't do that in a week. If we want to go somewhere towards what that used to be once more, we have to do a few brave things, and that includes taking action against carp. You can get more information on our website, carp.gov.au. I would love to sit down and have a coffee and a one-on-one conversation with everyone in this room because I really strongly believe that we can do this, but of course, as I say, it will take a bit of a Team Australia approach. So thanks for your attention, your support. Yeah.